club's new shirt, saying all white is not all right. The new design was unveiled on the club's website, but a number of the official and unofficial internet message boards have criticised the kit, as Gillingham have traditionally played in blue. But the away kit will be blue with black hoops. The team are due to play in the white strip against Lens on July the 16th. And that's the way the sport looks this evening. Have a good year. Instead, a protest consisting of just 3 fans led to the chairman threatening to resign and fears that the club's main sponsor was about to pull out. Charles Lambert explains.
From this, a bankrupt club, 2 from bottom of the league, to this. Hosting the Football League's annual general meeting is the cherry on the cake for Paul Scally, who's transformed Priestfield in the 8 years he's been at the helm.
And it's taken a while getting there because we've pretty much built it ourselves with very limited funds and on a very tight budget. But we're there, and today is a great tribute to everyone who's put their backs into this job, and you know, we can say it's almost like payback day today.
Yet this prestigious meeting comes at a time when Gillingham's own fans are furious that the club's strip is due to change from blue to white.
Maybe the colour of the shirt, but it's 70 years of tradition for 90% of the supporters. Well, 100% of the supporters. They've been around longer than what the chairman has, the players have, and what they will be.
Some more extreme fans, who weren't part of today's protest, had even suggested boycotting the club sponsors, See France. See France today released a statement saying they were reviewing their relationship with the club. It's a threat the chairman clearly takes seriously.
Frankly, if Gillingham Football Club lose a See France, who have been a fabulous sponsor, great friends, great investors in this football club, then I have to consider my position, because I can't spend my life trying to get people like See France involved to see 1 or 2 individuals frighten them away by the rhetoric and the manner in which they show their disapproval.
It's unlikely Mr Scally would go. He made a very similar threat a little over a year ago. But even if he left tomorrow, it would take a lot longer to undo the changes he's overseen at Priestfield. Charles Lambert for Meridian Tonight.
Better news on the pitch, where the Gills have completed their first signing of the close season. Central defender Ian Cox has arrived from First Division rivals Burnley, having previously played for Bournemouth.
We've obviously played against Gillingham a few times in the past, and I've had a few good battles with him. It's always been a very difficult prospect to sort of come here and try and get 3 points from Gillingham.
When he was at Bournemouth, he's always had very good games against us, and when he's been at, he's obviously been at Burnley for the last few years, he's done fantastic for them as well. So it's nice to get him on board quickly.
News of another signing, Brighton manager Steve Coppell
for next season. Well, our reporter Guy Havord has been at the meeting. Guy, has anything been achieved today?
Yeah, well, things have been achieved in terms of the redevelopment of the management board. A new management board has been brought in for next season. There'll be a representative from the First Division, and indeed they're looking to rebrand the First Division. They believe it's got a lot of potential that has been untapped so far. It's been a difficult 24 months really for the whole of the Football League, so they've got that sorted out. That's the plus point, but it's a slight feeling of anticlimax here in that the 2 key issues that were talked about beforehand have been deferred. The main one about the playoffs has been deferred until the EGM in September. They were hoping possibly to get 6 clubs in the playoffs, but that won't happen next season. It might happen the season after, but probably not in the First Division. Here's Paul Scally, the Gillingham chairman.
I think we'll probably stay with the system we've got. I'm fairly relaxed on that. I think if it goes to 8, I'm relaxed, and if it stays at 6, I'm equally as relaxed, so long as we're in them next season. But, I do take on view, and I think we have to take on view the views of the FA, Football League, the Premier League, and of course Nationwide, our sponsors. And they at the moment want to take it further and have further discussion. So, again, it's an issue that will be decided upon, I think, by September at the EGM.
OK, September then, we have to wait.
The proposed change from a blue to a white shirt has upset both supporters and sponsors, but for different reasons, as Neil Bell reports.
Football League chairmen from all over the country arrived at Gillingham's Priestfield Stadium this morning for their annual meeting, oblivious to the dispute which has engulfed the Kent club over the last week.
This shirt may not look very controversial, but it is at the heart of this current dispute. Some supporters like it so little that they've threatened to boycott sponsors See France, and that in turn has led Gillingham chairman Paul Scally to say he may even walk away from the club.
A peaceful protest outside the ground only attracted a handful of supporters, keen to know why after 70 years the club was turning from blue to white.
There's been rumours going around that is See France requested it. That's been refuted by the club, but there's been no other reason as to why we're changing, and that's what's upsetting a lot of the supporters.
I'm very, very, very upset about this issue, as you can imagine. And C France had absolutely no part in designing or deciding which colour the shirt was going to be. They haven't influenced us, they haven't tried to influence us. And to be honest, there is nothing in their contract that allows them to influence us. I don't mind people objecting, I don't mind people having a view. Of course they're entitled to that, and we always listen. But I do draw the line when people really damage our business and damage the business of this football club. Some people have certainly attempted to do. And I find that totally unacceptable. And if all our hard work at this club means that a major sponsor decides to take his sponsorship elsewhere, then I must therefore consider my own position here.
This almost unbelievable squabble has yet to be resolved, but it will come as no surprise if Gillingham's players do in fact run out in blue shirts again next season.
Now
Jason Taylor as the perfect replacement for Roland Edge, who left the club last month. The defender was a popular player in the North West and Blackpool's Player of the Season.
I met the manager and the chairman, and they both seem ambitious, as I am. You know, it's a first division club, and they've done well last year. They were around the playoffs, and they just missed out. And I believe they had a few injuries and stuff. So, you know, hopefully we can get there again next season and push for the Premiership.
Well, meanwhile, the row over which kit Gillingham will play in next season took a further twist today. Last week, Gillingham chairman Paul Scally threatened to leave the club following supporters' criticism. But as Neil Bell reports, a peaceful solution could be just around the corner.
The shirt that Gillingham had hoped to play their home games in next season is this one. Nothing wrong with it, but it has been dogged with controversy as Gillingham have played in blue for the last 60 years. So it does represent a serious break with tradition. There are alternatives. This is one of next season's away kits. Nice enough, but they're never going to play at home in this. However, this could be the answer to the problem, more in keeping with tradition. And Gillingham chairman Paul Scally is suggesting that he might allow supporters to have their say. If they buy more of this than the other two over the next couple of weeks, this could be the kit that Gillingham run out in next season. Cynics might say, if you ask people to come in and buy shirts and they buy the wrong one, they'll have to buy the other one, and you'll be selling two shirts.
Well, they won't be buying them, they'll be ordering them, and if they want to change their order or have their money back, we'll allow them to do that, of course. You know, if they vote, if you like, by pre-ordering a blue shirt and we go for the white and they decide they want the white, then of course they can have the white. Or they may wish to have neither and have their money back, which we'll also honour.
So these are the two main choices for next season.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
Well, I prefer that one because traditionally Gillingham play in blue, so it'd be nice to see us still playing in blue at home next year.
Yeah. White doesn't bother me if they want to play in white, but I do prefer the blue and black.
So white or blue and black, which one would you prefer them wear next season?
I prefer the blue and black one. Right. It's just me, I just like it, and that's it. That's what I like. I associate Gillingham with blue, so the blue and black is the one I like.
So the supporters may yet get the chance to put their money where their mouth is. At $39.99 a shirt, it ain't cheap, but it is democracy.
Switching to a white home strip. A week ago, he relented and told fans they could vote with their wallets by pre-ordering the kit of their choice, and the results were due tomorrow. But now apparently there's been a decision. I'm delighted to say that Paul Scally joins us now from his home. Well, Mr. Scally, I think I've guessed what the decision is. You're modelling a very fine kit there.
I'm sorry about the model, but the kit is gorgeous, and I always liked all three kits, and well, the white was my preference, but the fans have voted, and to be fair to them, they've chosen the blue and black hoops, and I'm delighted with that as well, and so is everybody at the club. So the argument's over, and here it is, me modelling it.
But the deadline was tomorrow, wasn't it? Why have you made the decision now?
Well, because the blue and black was so far ahead, there wasn't any chance it was going to get overtaken in 24 hours, and I thought the sooner we decided to make a decision and put the issue to bed, the better. And like I say, this is a draft of the shirt, but the actual finished original is even nicer. And I'm delighted, and the team will be delighted, and I'm sure the fans will be delighted.
Were you surprised, though, that so many people were upset by the idea of a white strip?
Well, strangely, I had probably about as many emails and faxes from people who like the white kit as I did of people who dislike the white kit. But what my concern was that the way that some people, a minority I might add, made their feelings felt to our sponsors, C France, who frankly had no part in it and have been a great sponsor. So that was really what my anger was aimed at, not about the actual colour of the shirt. I always said if people preferred the blue and black striped shirt or the hoop shirt, that's what we'd run with, and we put them to the test. To be fair to the fans, they've come and voted with their wallets, they bought the shirt, they've ordered the shirts, and this is why I've decided today to make the decision and put the thing to bed.
OK, Mr. Scally, it looks good on you too. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks very much.